Hi, this is Jeff Blauette, technical agronomist with Cooperative Farmers Elevator. And on this week's Field Friday segment, again, we keep harping on this drought stress and heat stress we've got on our crops, but I thought I'd talk about something that maybe we could consider doing to maybe help us out here. Of course, we've had some rains go through the area. Some have had more than others, but we still have a really dry subsoil, and the hot, dry forecast for next week kind of makes me concerned that we kind of got by for a little bit here, but we're going to have some stress stacking up again, and it's going to probably have some impact on our yields. Something that's, we haven't obviously had this environment the last number of years, so we don't have a lot of testing on some of these, but there are some stress mitigation products out there that we're considering we're doing some of this year, and I don't know that I'm going to recommend anybody do it on all their bean acres or anything, but it'd be something to consider, especially on your better fields that look like they still have a lot of potential. Let's keep them going. There's a product called Crop Plus that we've been playing with a little bit. It's got some, they can call it antioxidant properties, some amino acids, and some ability to give that plant some stress tolerance. A lot of times, there's a lot of products that make a lot of claims, but I will say with this product, we've seen some pretty good things in alfalfa. And obviously we're, not in a huge alfalfa area in general, but we've seen different times now where we've had, farmer applied and even we applied a field where it ran just a little short, and we've seen some pretty impressive results where it ran short, how much of a growth difference there was from that versus the treated acre. So not everything is a parallel from alfalfa to oats to corn to soybeans, all of our crops, but I would think something like this has some potential to consider on our soybeans especially. Soybeans, we have the ability to get through these fields really easily yet. Matter of fact, I am still concerned that we're not going to get all these fields to canopy, so having something that would give us the ability to keep those beans going kind of excites me a little bit. And the potential with the commodity prices that we have today still gives us a pretty good opportunity for a good ROI on these products. There's several other ones that we have that they're all kind of biostimulants, have different methods of doing things. We don't have a lot of data on any of them, but we have a product called Voyagrow that's also a biostimulant. That's actually something that, we have seen some data that it helps increase the ability of that plant to take up micronutrients. So if we're putting on some micronutrients at the same time, that might be something to consider. But those are just a couple of products. I advise you to consider trying at least some of your fields, trying parts of fields, just so we can see if we can learn together. These products aren't really expensive either. They're in that $5 to $10 an acre investment range, and I think there's going to be some potential for that to really be beneficial. We're entering that stage now. All these beans are flowering. Some are at R2, which kind of means we've got flowers up and down the plant. So we've got a lot of growth to happen yet, but now we're at that point we're trying to protect flowers, trying to keep them from aborting and try and get those pollinated and as productive as we can. So I think the potential to add a bushel or two of beans is really there. So consider those products. There's something new. Everybody's got all the biological stuff. There's been a lot of buzz in the industry about that. It's still a big wild west as far as there's tons of products. They all make a lot of claims, but we have honed in on a couple that I think really maybe have some potential. And like I say, we've seen some things on alfalfa, and I think beans probably have more stress on them than alfalfa does today, because alfalfa in general established. Alfalfa has a big tap root that is down into maybe some more moisture down below that the soybeans don't have that big a root system yet. So that potential I think is there. But there's all kinds of details on the amino acids and what they all do. I'm not going to bore you with all that because quite frankly I don't know if I totally understand the way to communicate it, other than the antioxidant properties and what we've seen for performance on previous experience here, like I mentioned on alfalfa, is really got my attention, and it's something that I'd recommend maybe giving a shot. Just for knowledge, the Crop Plus, we maybe had some stuff on our website earlier this winter, or earlier this spring, late this winter, a product called Seed Plus. It's mixed with the talc and graphite that we typically add when we're planting corn. We've got some visual demos we've had with some improvement on germination and consistency of germination on corn. It's the same stuff, just in a form. The Crop Plus is the same as the Seed Plus, just in a form that's designed to be foliar applied. It has some surfactants and adjuvants in it, but it's the same concept, and we did see some pretty impressive stuff with some things in the field, just the with and without at germination time and emergence time too. So we're seeing some things, and I think it's worth exploring a little further, and they do talk about it, stress mitigation properties, and obviously we're going to have that probably next week with being back in the mid-90s and a lot of stuff trying to happen from a soybeans reproductive phase aspect. So just thought I'd kind of bring that up. We can talk about all this stuff and how bad it is and how much stress we're under, but there are some things we can do to help maybe mitigate that, at least explore it. And we still have really good commodity prices. They've been fluctuating a lot, but I think it's worth playing, like I say, on especially some of your better looking fields that probably have a lot of potential yet. So I guess if you got any concerns or questions or have some interest, discuss that with your CFE agronomist, and we'll see once if we can't set something up for you. But with that, that's this week's Field Friday segment, and we'll see you next week.